Welcome back to another video. Hope you are having a great day. And today we are going to take a look at the main differences and main similarities between home range routers and business range routers. I have three different models here: the AX57, EBR63, EBM68. We are also going to mention the ZenWifi XT9, which we did not review here on the channel, but we did review the ZenWifi XT12. I will leave some links right over here, so when I do mention here on this particular video a different kind of feature, a gaming oriented router, extendable routers, speed tests and whatnot, links will be right over there so that you can check out and see in detail what I mean. Now, if you are watching this video on your Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer, don't forget to check out KeysFan, where you can find budget official OEM keys at an affordable price, and with the coupon code that you can see on screen and down below on the video description, it will get even cheaper. So just in case you want to check that out, I will leave the link down below. One of my favorite features is one of the main similarities between home range and business range, and it's called extendable router. Now, we have seen this in detail. Link will be right over here so that you can check it out. But this just means that if I want to build my company today, my office, and I just need the EBR63, which is within my budget and for my needs in terms of network, I can just deploy it. In a few minutes, it's ready to use. And 2 years or 3 years later, if I want to expand because my company just grew, I can add another unit, the same unit, or I can decide, and this time I want to add something stronger. So I want to go with the EBM68. So I can just add different units to my network depending on my needs, and they will just talk to each other, expanding my network without messing with the settings, because they will get everything that I've got right over here. And this is great. Works on the business line and also on the home line. Now let's take a look at some of the differences, and we will compare here hardware and also software. Starting with the hardware, one of the things that I would like to mention is that when you are comparing, and you can do this exercise, just have in mind the range that we are talking about. Now, the AX57 is a AX3000, the same with the EBR63 AX3000, which means the maximum bandwidth limit of each of these equipments. Combining all the frequencies that the router has, this will be the maximum bandwidth, and this is how we should compare when looking at a enterprise or business lineup or a home lineup. So the AX57 is a AX3000, which is a bandwidth limit of 3000 megabits per second, one WAN port with 1 gigabit and 4 LAN ports with 1 gigabit, a quad-core 1.7 gigahertz CPU, 128 megabytes of flash storage, and 256 megabytes of RAM. On the other hand, the EBR63 is also a AX3000, which is 3000 megabits per second, one WAN port 1 gigabit, 4 LAN ports 1 gigabit, the same 1.7 quad-core CPU, double of the flash storage, which is 256, double of the RAM, which is 512, and 2 USB ports for peripherals or internet backup. So if I want to share a POS on my network, I can. Or if I want to put in a hotspot for internet backup for my enterprise never go down, even if my internet provider goes down, I will have a hotspot and will have a backup right over here. Then this is one of the main differences, along with the RAM and flash storage, because even though it's a small company targeted at this router right over here, the network is supposed to have more traffic depending on the devices that I have on my network, and also of the clients that frequent my company. For example, if I have a bar or a restaurant or something like that, I want to give my clients free Wi-Fi, which, by the way, we will see on the software. It's really easy with these right over here, but the main target is that it will be taxed more than just my family using the router at home. So usually we will see this kind of difference in terms of the CPU. Well, the CPU is the same in this particular model, but RAM and the storage is different. Now let's take a look at the EBM68, and we will compare it with the ZenWifi XT9. Starting with the EBM68, it is a AX7800, so 7800 megabits per second. It has a 2.5 gigabit WAN port, 3 1 gigabit LAN ports with LAN aggregation to increase network capacity, 1.7 gigahertz quad core with 256 megabytes of flash and 1 gigabyte of RAM. It also has one USB 3.2 port. Now, if we take a look at the ZenWifi XT9, which I don't have right over here, but I will show you on the website. It is a AX7800 with one 2.5 gigabit WAN port, 3 1 gigabit LAN ports with LAN aggregation to increase network capacity, so the same so far, 1.7 gigahertz quad-core CPU with 256 megabytes of flash storage, so the same, but with half of the RAM, only 512 compared with the 1 gigabyte that we find on the EBM68. It also has one USB 3.2. So depending on the router and on the range, we will find differences on the RAM and storage on almost all cases, and then on CPU on certain cases. But you can do these comparisons on the Asus website. Now let's take a look at the software. And the software, we have seen some examples. We will take a look at the AX57 and also the EBR63 and EBM68. But don't forget to check out the links on the YouTube cards, because we have seen some routers with different features, and then depending if you are more gaming oriented and so on, you will have those features or not. Now let's take a look at the AX57 as an example. Now in terms of setting it up is really easy. We will use the Asus router app, which is very easy to configure. So we are talking about something that it's aimed at tasks that are mostly done at home, such as gaming, streaming, and so on. Something that we will find in common, and we will see in just a few moments in the business app, is the security part with AI protection and some diagnostics tools. But in general, we have the dashboard with the general network and router information, CPU status, RAM, traffic, among other information. Devices on the network, profile management for users, and we are talking about 4 or 5 different categories, children, teenagers, adults, and so on, which is very useful. It also has the AI mesh configuration, AI protection, diagnostics, parental control, network tests, firmware update, Google Assistant, Alexa, port forwarding options, which is really cool, and we can get an idea of what we will get in the home range. But once again, I would say that this is the basis. Then depending on the model, we will have more features. Now, taking a look at the business side of things, the app is different. It's called the Asus ExpertWifi. Now, the setup is as easy as configuring a home router. In 2 minutes, we will have everything. Now, the choices are different. Everything is aimed at the company. It's a network environment looking to the company itself and for its customers. Now, in the ExpertWifi app, we will find information about our IP, like we've seen before, the option to choose the type of traffic to prioritize, the profile of our network with information such as the name of the network, the option to separate 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequencies, the possibility of changing the name and password, among others. So very similar to what we find at the home app. Also, we can quickly check the status of our router and network, such as the type of connection, how many devices, how many clients are connected, and this is important, doing it in real time, the network traffic, CPU and RAM usage, so that we can decide if it's enough for our business or not. But one of the main differences that I did find is the creation of several different networks. As we can see right over there, I can create secure networks, and this is very important, and I will just remove everything that is on screen. One of the options, one of the things that I do see on a daily basis is on small businesses, the internet provider puts a router on a business like it puts on our own. And if you have clients, the natural thing is to provide free internet access, because you will not get charged extra. But one of the mistakes that we do is that we just provide the password and anyone will have access to all our network, and that might be critical. So when we have to make this decision to give internet to our clients or to anyone else, we should provide that network, but in a safe environment that will not hurt our business. So we can create a network for employees, a network for guests, a temporary network, VPN, among other options, which will possibly be the biggest difference. And we can instantly have our own network for customers with a portal, for example, where we can easily configure the access in minutes to that network without having the access to our business network. And this is major in terms of security. Now, it's all managed by the same router without the need to have other equipment, so we can have one network for our POS, for our software that manages everything that it's financial and so on and so forth. And then we can create a network for our employees, we can create a network for our guests, for clients that visit our company, and we can create, even if we have smart devices, we can create a network for that. So this is huge. Although it seems, and it is, something simple to implement with the software that comes with the Asus routers, is something huge in terms of security and in terms of functionality of a small medium company. And that is it. Hopefully I could share to that side some of the main differences, being one of these that we just talked, the creation of secure networks for different kind of scenarios with a very simple setup, and it works in a really secure environment, giving the client and also the company a sensation of professional, and also not the sensation but the security that we need. That being said, I'm going to shut up. If the video was helpful in some way, don't forget the usual thumbs up over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.